Hello, this is lesson 4.5, Solving Inequalities Using Addition or Subtraction. This is found on page 151 in your textbooks, and the key ideas begin on page 152. The addition property of equality. Words. When you add the same number to each side of an inequality, the inequality remains the same, or remains true. This is the same idea as when we were doing regular equations. Numbers is shown by, we have this inequality here. -4 is less than 3. If we add 2 to both sides, -4 plus 2 becomes -2. 3 plus 2 becomes 5. And -2 is still less than 5. Here's the algebra way. If A is less than B, then A plus C is still less than B plus C. And the true opposite can be said. If A is greater than B, then A plus C is still greater than B plus C. The subtraction property of inequality is the same as the addition, but with the use of subtraction. Note you can solve inequalities in the same way you solve equations, which we did back a couple units. Use the inverse operations to get the variable by itself. And we'll be doing that today. All right. We have solving an inequality using addition. So right now we have this inequality here. X minus 5 is less than -3. If we add 5 to both sides, we're using the addition property of inequality. The 5's will cancel out. And on the right side, -3 plus 5 is 2. So x is less than 2. We're going to try a couple problems here. All right, we have y minus 6 is greater than -7. To isolate y, we are going to add 6 to both sides. Y is greater than -7 plus 6 is 1, -1. And the 6's will cancel out. Problem number 2. We have b minus 3.8 is less than or equal to 1.7. We're going to do the opposite by adding 3.8 to both sides. The 3.8's will cancel out. We're left with b is less than or equal to, and this would become 7 plus 8 is 15, carry the 1, and this would end up being 5.5. You can check your work by substituting 5.5 back in for b. 5.5 minus 3.8 should give you 1.7. All right, in this particular case, we have the variable z on the right-hand side. That's perfectly fine. We're going to isolate it by moving all the numbers over onto the left side. The opposite of minus 1/4 is adding 1/4. These will cancel out. We'll be left with z. -1/2 plus 1/4 is going to be -1/4. Remember, a fourth plus a fourth is a half. In this case, it's -1/2 plus 1/4. We're becoming more positive, so it'll be -1/4. Okay, so now we have solving inequalities using subtraction. Same idea as before. Okay, we have 13 is less than or equal to x plus 14. We're going to subtract 14 from both sides, which isolates the x. 13 minus 14 is negative 1. We have some try it problems. To isolate the w plus 3 is less than or equal to negative 1, we're going to do the opposite. Instead of adding 3, we're going to subtract 3. Do the opposite. We're left with w. You're less than or equal to. Negative 1 minus 3 is negative 4. Again, you can plug this into the w and check your workout. Negative 4 plus 3 is negative 1, which checks out. The second problem is 8.5. You're greater than or equal to d plus 10. We want to isolate the d, the variable, by doing the opposite. Instead of adding 10, we're going to subtract 10 from both sides. The 10s will cancel out or get eliminated, and we're left with d. 8.5 minus 10 is going to be negative 1.5. The next problem here is x plus 3/4 is greater than 1.5. We are going to subtract, because it's addition, we'll do the opposite, subtract 3/4 from both sides. The sign stays the same. We're left with x, because these will get eliminated. 1.5 minus 3/4 leaves us with 3/4. Keep in mind, 3/4 plus 3/4 is 1.5. Okay. Are the inequalities c plus 3 greater than 5 and c minus 1 greater than 1 equivalent? Explain. So I wrote these two problems out. Let's see if they match up. We're going to isolate the c here by subtracting 3 from both sides. The 3's will cancel out. We're left with c is greater than 5 minus 3 is 2. All right, this is c minus 1 is greater than 1. To isolate the c, we need to do the opposite. If this is subtraction, we're going to add 1 to both sides. Negative 1 plus 1, they cancel out. We're left with c greater than 1 plus 1 is 2. They are equivalent. Yes, they are equivalent. All right. Which one doesn't belong? So one of these equations does not have the same solution. Let's solve for w in all these cases, isolate the variable w, and see which ones match. This is addition, so we need to do the opposite. We need to subtract 7/4 from both sides. We're left with, these cancel out, with w is less than 3/4 minus 7/4. 3 minus 7 is negative 4/4, or w is less than negative 1/2. That's what we have for this guy. Let's do the same thing here. We're going to add 3/4 to both sides because it's the opposite. We're left with w is greater than negative 7 plus 3 is going to be negative 4/4, or w is going to be greater than negative 1. So this matches. Oh, no, it doesn't. One's less than and one's greater than. So let's watch those signs. All right, we're going to isolate the w by subtracting 7/4. Subtracting 7/4 from both sides. W is greater than 3 minus 7 is negative 4/4, or w is greater than negative 1. All right, now we're going to add 7/4. Oh, excuse me. I have this written, it's written in reverse here. The W is on the right-hand side, so we are going to add 3/4 to both sides. These will cancel out. We're left with W on the right-hand side. -7 plus 3 is -4/4, or -1 is less than W. We can rewrite this as W is greater than -1. That's both the same. So we have W is less than -1, W is greater than -1, W is greater than -1, and W is greater than -1 here. So these three match. This one is the one that doesn't belong. All right, we're going to solve this next problem. We're going to get x by itself. To get x by itself, we're going to do the opposite. Instead of subtracting 4, we're going to add 4 to both sides. X is left by itself. -6 plus 4 is -2. For number 10, we have z plus 4.5. We're going to isolate it by subtracting 4.5 from both sides. Z is left on the left side. 3.25 minus 4.5 is going to be negative, and it'll be negative 0.75. Excuse me, that is incorrect. It is going to be 1.25. 1.25. Okay. The next problem, we're going to isolate G. Right now, it's being added, or it's positive 4/5. We're going to subtract 4/5 from both sides. All right, we don't have the common denominator. Let's write this out over here. 7/10 minus 4/5 is greater than G. The common denominator is going to be 10. 5 goes into 10 twice. So I'm going to multiply the numerator twice by, and that'll be 8. 7 minus 8 is -1/10. So it's going to be -1/10 is greater than G. Okay. Write two inequalities that can be represented by the graph. So the open dot means it is greater than or less than. And in this case, we're going to say x is greater than -5. That's one equation. Or we could say -5 is less than x. We can flip it. So here are our two inequalities. Traditionally, we usually put the x first. Okay, modeling real life. Example number 3. To become an astronaut pilot for NASA, a person can be no taller than 6.25 feet. Your friend is 5 feet 9 inches tall. How much can your friend grow and still meet the requirements? So we need to convert the inches to feet. So 9 inches times 1 foot over 12 inches converts to 9/12 of a foot, or 0.75 feet. So your friend is 5 feet and 0.75 feet tall. So a total of 5.75 feet tall. So the current height is 5.75. We don't know what his potential growth is going to be. We're going to call that H. And the height for NASA that's allowed, the allowable limit, is 6.25. So we have this equation. We're going to subtract 5.75 from each side. from the left side and the right side. These will cancel out. And if you